accuser. I'm fighting another one of those on Monday. And I've often thought, gee, I wish I could just get into the other side and smack this guy around a little bit and tell him to knock it off and tell him. I was very surprised that he admitted to being stupid, to saying things that he shouldn't have said, and why this is important. And by the way, sexual harassment is a legal term that has a particular meaning. The conduct has to rise to a certain level. He does not admit to sexual harassment. What he does admit to is misconduct. This is a guy who has thrown away the old playbook of let's attack the women, let's dig up dirt on their past, let's humiliate them, let's fight.
You just broke the news about Hillary Clinton finally putting out a statement condemning his behavior and distancing herself. The question is whether or not she is going to help gather the $1.4 million that he, as what's known as a bundler, helped to donate to her campaigns over the many years. The Obamas. Where is Michelle Obama? Where is President Obama? I mean, if just pretend the shoe was on the other foot and this was a Republican, somebody who is in Hollywood who is a Republican, who is alleged to have done these things and gave to Republican presidents. Can you imagine the outrage if they weren't, condemning this behavior? I mean, it makes no sense at all that.
If someone who gave a million or bundled $1 million to George W. Bush, let's say, to Dana's point, had a similar experience, there would be a huge outcry if George W. Bush didn't release something. Forget that he's not in office currently. That's not the point. It's not, the issue is not that. The issue is...
Known Harvey Weinstein for a long time. I'm not at all surprised to see it.
I can tell. I want to start by thanking Harvey Weinstein for organizing this amazing day. Harvey. Possible because of Harvey. He is a wonderful human being, a good friend, and just a powerhouse. And the fact.
India. And me, I have a lot of rich friends, so I was kind of hoping we were going to get gifts. I wanted, that way I can measure them and, say, God, you cheap things. And at the same time, it beats a lot of things. This is a truly fulfilling, thing to do, and I'm very, very lucky to do this every day. I should pinch myself and say thank you.
Because his bullying patterns also existed in his business world. And so my really main contact with him was shouting at him down the phone that I never wanted to work with him ever. And anyway, and what I find sort of extraordinary is that this man is at the top of a very particular iceberg, and I don't think you can describe him as a sex addict. He's a predator. That's different. He's, as it were, the top of the ladder is a system of harassment and belittling and bullying and interference and what my mother would have referred to in the olden days as pestering. Is he pestering you? Maybe not to that degree. Do they have to all be as bad as him to make it count? Does it only count if you really have done it to loads and loads and loads of women, or does it count if you do it to one woman once? I think the latter. And that's because in our systems, there are not nearly enough women, particularly in Hollywood, in positions of power. There aren't enough women at the top of the tree in the studios who could perhaps balance everything out on set. Crews can be very, with young women in particular, were women.
So what happens if they just say no?
Sometimes they don't get the part.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
To this day, inexplicable.
Harvey Weinstein, friend of yours, right? Gave lots of, he gave lots of money to your campaign over time.
Not a lot, but he gave money.
How much?
And I think it's important that we stay focused and shine a bright spotlight and try to get people to understand how damaging this is. And the women coming forward is the only way that story will be told.
So,
Did that ever happen to you?
It has happened to me. It has. I only met Harvey when I was old, and Harvey goes for young because that's more vulnerable, but it's very, very common. Bill Cosby, and this is not unique. This goes on at the most horrendous high levels.
What do you...
Which
okay.
went through.
Because they say it was an open secret in Hollywood.
I didn't realize that, but I believe that apparently it was so common that everybody must have known. And of course,
temporarily, Twitter locked her account because of all the activity. Her name is trending this morning. She has been relentless, encouraging women to come forward and calling out people she says knew and did nothing.
She beat up bad guys in Scream.
Oh, you want to play Psycho Killer?
Bewitched us in Charm.
I didn't even call for it. It just happened.
But now Rose McGowan is center stage, being one of the first women to come forward accusing Harvey Weinstein of sexual harassment, and now not holding back her criticism of Hollywood insiders who may have protected him.
She has been really
McGowan also calling out some of Hollywood's leading men she believes knew about Weinstein's behavior but chose to stay silent. Matt Damon and Ben and Casey Affleck. Both Matt and Ben have come forward saying they never knew what was going on. But the Weinsteins...
Better for the next girl coming after me to know that she doesn't have to sell her body and soul just because she wants to be a creative person. That isn't the fine that you pay at the gate, and it shouldn't be.
That's McGowan back into the... According to the New York Times report, in 1997, Weinstein reached a $100,000 settlement with McGowan after an incident in a hotel room.
It just falls into this to him. Yesterday, she tweeted the head of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, saying, "I told the head of your studio that HW raped me. Over and over I said it. He said it hadn't been proven. I said I was the proof." Well, Amanda Weinstein. Other prominent names in Hollywood have also spoken out. The Oscar-winning director Oliver Stone has accused the film industry and the public of prematurely judging Mr. Weinstein.
I'm a believer in, you wait till this thing gets to a trial. If he broke the law, it'll come out. There'll be a trial. And I believe a man shouldn't be condemned by a vigilante system. So it's not easy what he's going through on the other hand either.
Here, friends of the TV personality Mylene Klass say she was sexually harassed by Mr. Weinstein. And last night, actress Kate Beckinsale said he propositioned her when she was just 17. Scotland Yard.
Harvey gave us just what we needed, another hymn. That might sound familiar. That's what I wrote on the card that I sent you when he was born. If he's anything like his dad, he's going to be relentless, passionate, and just about the best mentor an aspiring actor could ever hope for.
Growing up in Ireland, and it answers the age-old problem that we all know. Why do guys form rock and roll bands? To get a girl.
Yeah.
And it's usually the nerdy guy who has no chance against an athlete. He said that Hillary wasn't qualified to be president, and she and the girlfriends took umbrage to that. And they've been bombing me on the internet. Like every day I get like another internet bomb, like they're, Woodward and Bernstein.
Because you're a Hillary supporter.
Yeah, I am a Hillary supporter, and they know that. We have all types of my mom started out for Donald Trump. She's turned to Hillary. But Emma just bombs me all the... Why doesn't he give his taxes? He says, white people don't give up their taxes. I said, Emma, if they don't give up their taxes, they usually have something to hide. She said, why does he say that?
He's not talking about it as that. Come on now.
Well, no, I'm just wondering.
Oscar-winning producer Harvey Weinstein.
But Harvey's here.
Harvey is supporting Hillary.
And you have raised money as
Hillary
well.
Clinton. Yes, you've raised money.
I have raised money, and I think the whole thing about money, what Hillary promised, if she's elected president, they get rid of Citizens Brigade. That's caused everything. And I think, for the Democrats, they have to show that they have some muscle. If they don't show that they have the muscle, these guys are going to outspend them anyhow.
Right, you got to play the game.
So at least, in that little fort, the cavalry can hold off.
Right. So why are you for Hillary instead of Bernie?
Well, my daughter, Emma, has really crystallized it over the last 4 weeks. She's 18 years old. And all of her girlfriends were for Bernie.
Right.
All of them. And her too. And she's even for the New England Patriots, which I can't stand.
What?
No, I disinherited her.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. That's
only Robert Kraft adopted her.
Yeah.
That's a problem. He's got more money than
he's doing well.
It's terrible.
I doubt that.
No, it's true. Whatever. And just she said to me that when Bernie said Hillary wasn't qualified, they took that a little sexist, just like, how could the Secretary of State, 103 countries that she visited, two-time senator, first lady, civil rights lawyer, not be qualified? You can say he's not right for the job, but
so Bernie polls way ahead of the polls much stronger than Hillary does against all the Republicans.
Well, I think you might see that nationally, but nobody's paying more attention than in New York. When you see the Daily News, when you see the Times, both endorse her. I mean,
But he had like 28,000 people.
The question about Hollywood money. Harvey, if you look at Hollywood as a special pleader in their contributions, what does Hollywood want from politicians when they give money?
Usually, and that's not always the case, but Hollywood is liberal. And I think that Hollywood wants, somebody to care about the country, care about the middle class. I think the people who've made it in Hollywood usually don't come from very aristocratic beginnings. There's a definite inequality.
You lied on me. I just realized the truth of it hard back in 06 after I got out of prison. I just studied a little bit. I realized the truth now, hard of what you done to me. I said to the other man, you're supposed to be it for women? Do you call that for women? What you done to me? And I heard you on tape laughing.
She first spoke.
The lie detector test. I had the polygraph. When she passed, which forever destroyed my faith in
She was never really upset with Hillary Clinton or Hillary Clinton's actions in this case until she learned very recently, because of the documents and videos revealed that you just pointed out, that Hillary Clinton had accused her of some sort of culpability in her own attack. And then when she heard the tape of Hillary Clinton laughing about her attacker's guilt, she decided that she just couldn't take it anymore, and she wanted to put her side of the story out in the public for the record.
So if you listen to the whole tape, she's not laughing about the fact that she got somebody off. She's laughing about the process. She's talking about, for instance, she flew up to Brooklyn to get the world's leading expert on blood samples, and the prosecutor was very upset about it. The prosecutor threw away the blood evidence in the case, and it couldn't be tested at the time of trial, so there was minimal evidence available, physical evidence, to prove the rape, and she just brought that to the prosecutor's attention, and he folded.
I was going like a couple blocks to go to church, and these two guys stopped in a truck and started approaching me. Which one was I? They said I was going with them, and I said, no, I'm not, and I tried to take off, and they jerked me off my bicycle, and they put me in the truck, and they were hitting me, and I was screaming and crying that I didn't want to go, and I guess no one heard me, and by the time we got there, all my clothes was ripped off of me, and they raped me there. They threw me out of the truck into the field, or the edge of the field, and they were beating me, and I'm pretty sure they thought I was dead. And I started crawling, and I crawled, and I found this house, and I crawled up. Yeah, I was totally beaten, had blood all over me. Later? I went into a coma because I had some pretty hard head issues, where they threw me up against the door, punching me, and so forth. And I'm not sure what all, I just know I had cuts and bruises all over me. It was around my private part. And I was told at that point by the doctor that it was a 99% chance that I could probably never have. Well, even if I did, I couldn't have them. I mean, yeah, I love kids, but I can't have them, so.
Accused of raping a 12-year-old who was the daughter of the family he was living in Springfield. They lived on the other side of the tracks in Springfield. Green floor.
Totally uncalled for, some of the stuff she says about me. She didn't even know me, and she's just putting this in her own mind to lie about it.
He did all this stuff.
And he did do it. I have to live with it today. If I could trade all this swimming for it not happening, I would trade.
She passed, which forever destroyed my faith in Holocaust.
It makes me sick. You know, I seen Hillary for the first time in the last debate, and 3 times I almost come up from there. If my attorney hadn't been sitting beside me to help me stay calm, I think I would have come up from there. Sitting there, every statement I hear, she's for women and children. If she was for women, or for children, she wouldn't have put me through what she has put me through. She hurt a child inside too, very bad.
She hurt a child inside very bad.
And she says she's for children and women. If she was for children, she could have never went there with me as a 12-year-old girl.
I was just sick, shocked. I was, it was just intolerable. And like so many people who have come forward, was a different of a person who many others had in the past.
Interview with three of Bill Clinton's accusers, Juanita Broderick, Paula Jones, and Kathleen Willey. Take a look. Paula, your case resulting in the impeachment of Bill Clinton. You got an $850,000 settlement as a result of your case. Tell us your story. He was the attorney.
The little local press was trying to give him an interview and everything, and it was out in front of us, out in front of our table.
Right.
Well, he kind of like he was kind of staring at us, staring at me and my coworker a lot, and never was asked to go up there.
Just you.
I was by myself, escorted up to the room with the state police, who was his security. We did some small talk, and then he started kind of getting a little comfortable and trying to. He said that he loved the way my hair flowed down my back of my clothes, and he liked my curves, and then he leaned up and he pulled me up towards him, and he was going to try to kiss on me. And so then I tried to distract him again. And I thought, what am I doing? My mind is racing so fast that I don't realize what was even going on. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is not happening. And I said, well, I may need to be going or something. And next thing you know, he pulled down he sat down, pulled down his pants, his whole everything, and he was exposed. And I said, I'm not that kind of girl, and I need trying to. And then when he got his pants up and everything, I was trying to walk over. He rushed over and he grabbed the door facing to where I couldn't get out. And he said, "You're a smart girl. Let's keep this between ourselves." And of course,
I think they need to research and to understand that Hillary is not for women. She needs to research what Bill Clinton and she did to all of us.
Absolutely. You know, they called us bimbos, you know, drag $100 bills through a trailer park, and you don't remember what you're going to come up with. You know, the bimbo eruption. I mean.
Oh, I think it was so disrespectful. But that's how she had to try to get a handle on the situation.
Right.
She was disrespectful to all of us. And she had these people handle this, what she called bimbo eruption.
Instead of reaching out to us or not, then she would have known. But she didn't care to. Instead, it just kept going about we were unworthy, we were just bimbos, we were white trash, you know, all of that. And that's what it's done. If she really cared about us as women, we are women, aren't we? Okay, so why didn't she try to reach out to us?
We've been called bimbos, whores, sluts, trailer trash. Can you think of any others that are any worse?
No.
I can't.
Just all of it,
Looney
huh?
Tunes.
Mm-hmm.
And why should she get a pass? She's got a lot of nerve over the years.
And
She's
all the
done
stuff that
the worst.
Bill Clinton has done, yeah, and
Yeah.
she's defended him.
The rhetoric, the conversation that we're having is that, well, you know, you three and others are about Bill's infidelities. This is just, you know, Bill Clinton and his infidelities, and that's all. What do you have to say to that? How do you react to that kind of a conversation? That this is
these were crimes.
Criminal stuff here that he's done.
This is what I would like to say. Rape, physical assault, sexual assault, not an infidelity. These are crimes. Any other people would be in jail.
Yes, they would be.
They would be in jail for a very long time. This is no longer about infidelities, indiscretions, girlfriends. These are not infidelities.
So in other words, it's not just about Bill, because people are saying also, okay, so Bill raped Juanita Broderick. Bill sexually assaulted Kathleen Willey and Paula Jones, but that's Bill's issue. Hillary has nothing.
Ruining these people. That's what she will do. Instead of running the country.
It's frightening.
How can Americans not be frightened about this? How do they think we're sitting here, all three of us, and we're making this stuff up? How can they not be in fear for this woman to run our country and to sit up there and pretend like she cares?
I want everyone to know about this big presidential campaign that Bill Clinton is a rapist. Infowars.com.
I do hope somebody follows that gentleman out and stages an intervention. He clearly has not been following this election very closely.
Wait. Give this guy a hand. They have had a terrible week, and he's just got to do this. Here's the problem. Bill Clinton is a rapist. Infowars.com.
If you look at Bill Clinton, far worse, minor words, and his was action. His was what he's done to women. There's never been anybody in the history of politics in this nation that's been so abusive to women. Hillary Clinton attacked those same women and attacked them viciously. 4 of them are here tonight. One of the women, who is a wonderful woman, at 12 years old, was raped at 12. Her client, she represented, got him off, and she's seen laughing on 2 separate occasions, laughing at the girl who was...
First, let me start by saying that so much of what he's just said is not right, but he gets to run...
Calm before the storm right here. Wait, how was I gonna start this off? Tensions are rising. Trump, when it comes to giving a shit, you're stingy as I am. Except when it... that. This is for Colin. Ball up a fist. And keep that shit balled. Like Donald the bitch. He's gonna get rid of all immigrants. He's gonna build that thing up taller than this. And any fan of mine who's a supporter of his, I'm drawing in the sand a line. You're either for or against. And if you can't decide who you like more in your split on who you should stand beside, I'll do it for you with this.